Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself? Younger, more beautiful, more perfect. One single injection unlocks your DNA, starting a new cellular division that will release another version of yourself. This is the substance.
The most common response about the film sounds literally like this. Why did they do this? This ending is from another film. I felt sick at the end. Are they mocking us? Why did the screenwriters create such a film? Where are the predictions for the upcoming year in it? And what is this picture even about? Let's talk about it right now. After all, it carries the deepest meanings. And hints for those who still do not understand that this film is not just a film. This is a film forecast for the future of each and every one of us. Are you ready for the decoding? Then let's like this video and let's go. At the beginning of the film, you saw my personal photos, and it looks very much like the prototype of the film Substance. The photos of how I was a couple of years ago and now are significantly different. What do you think? Is it one injection? Or, in general, let's talk about everything a little bit, and we will start with the title of the film. Substance, what does it mean? I looked it up on Wikipedia and learned that substance is the essence, the one that underlies everything, that which exists autonomously, by itself, as opposed to accidents, that exist in another or through another. In general, essence or substance is that which is the cause of the manifested effect. If we look right now at the essence or substance of the film itself, we will see several things that are trends in the modern world. And the first is what we hear at the very beginning. Just one injection unlocks your DNA. Doesn't it remind you of something? Well, of course, with our clip thinking, we want to take just one action and get a result. One rule, one word, one breath, one exhale, one glance, and you are a millionaire. The trends that modern society broadcasts to us say, do a little and you will achieve greatness. And it works 100%. And do you know why? I will tell you this now. We have two heroines of the film. The first is named Elizabeth. The second is named Sue. Elizabeth finds herself in a story that is quite understandable for all of us. A sought-after star who emotionally feeds off the audience's admiration, suddenly loses her charm, becomes old and out of place on the TV show, experiences a heavy psychological crisis. She does not feel self-worth. She does not understand how to live on, and she succumbs to the advertisement of a substance. She succumbs simply because she does not know how to regain her youth, does not know how to regain her beauty, and does not know what to live for next, as she has lived her whole life for the encouragement of the people who were her viewers and admirers. This is a story where we, with all our might, with all our life forces, try at any cost to obtain social recognition, financial rewards, and material incentives. We spend our whole lives ensuring that this recognition is present in our lives, and if it is not, we suffer and burn out. We fall into a state of gloom, depression, tension, and stress, telling ourselves that this life is unbearable, that it is hard and unfair. And, in fact, we devalue the act and the very fact of life. The next thing that happens to Elizabeth is that she receives the best version of herself. What is the best version of oneself? The one that is younger, more beautiful, more attractive. The one that is in demand by society, even more than Elizabeth was once in demand. And having received this opportunity, her task is to follow the rules of the game. To follow the rules of the game, which imply that each person in this game will be in a state of equilibrium and balance in terms of life activity and self-expression. This ideal version is public. The non-ideal version is not public, it is in a closed zone, and it becomes a hostage to its own choices, its own decision about how exactly it can restore its status and demand. And this is the essence of the substance and of just one injection and one step. This is when, in favor of marketing, in favor of an imposed principle of life built on mechanisms of consumption and external rewards, we lose the intrinsic value of life itself. By making some choice here and now in favor of the best version of ourselves, we sacrifice all our resources to this best version, often to our own detriment, not realizing that this is something that can never be compensated. Remember the phrase from the movie when Sue first broke the rules of the game and returned to a dormant state later than after 7 days. She began to draw resources from Elizabeth, and Elizabeth started to age rapidly. After she woke up, she called, and she was told that what one took would never be returned by another. You need to maintain balance. There is a procedure to fix this.
What is used on one side is on the other. There is no going back.
And on one hand, Elizabeth understands that both she and Sue are the same. It is the same consciousness in different forms of self-expression. One form is public, while the other form is non-public, a hidden form. The one that is not sought after by anyone, is of no interest to anyone, is needed by no one, like an old rag, yet at the same time she is jealous of herself. She is in opposition and insists on being given as much time as the active entity, which is manifested as a star, as the best version, as the ideal version, and seemingly lives the brightest and fullest life. And having split into two personalities, Elizabeth does not experience a state of happiness. She experiences a state of even deeper and more profound conflict than before she split. And now, look at what this looks like. We, modern people, are engaged in creating a better version of ourselves. We go outside, we enter the public world, we somehow adorn ourselves, we somehow dress ourselves up, we position ourselves in some way, we spend enormous energy on this, we spend all our time on this, to this beautiful and wonderful thing, but when we return to ourselves, when we come home, we become who we are and we suffer. We suffer from our bodies being sick, we suffer from stress, from tension, from burnout, from hatred of ourselves, from the inability to even experience the same delicious, bright, juicy, incredibly beautiful, resourceful emotions in our ordinary daily lives that we experience publicly. Moreover, we do not always experience them publicly. Ultimately, we come to a state of fear, despair, and an inability to manage the situation. By robbing ourselves of health, time, and life resources, draining it time and again for the sake of marketing, we end up in a destroyed state, first at the level of our bodies, at the level of our consciousness, at the level of Elizabeth, and then we begin to degrade and suffer at the level of Sue, and to try at any cost to grasp yet another moment, at least one more minute of glory. And even when we are falling apart, at this stage we try to grasp that firebird, which actually does not exist.
What was already transmitted incorrectly? What was already transmitted incorrectly? What are you sick of, speakers? As of Mao, what do you want to stall? Stop the extravagance. Only your own.
No. No. No, no. The filmmakers created a wonderful metaphor of the end, where the best version of you steals life resources from yourself. Health, attitude towards yourself, self-worth, time, just to receive external praise, like how beautiful you are, and we will love you. It is said in the end, we will love you, or they will love you. For this, she is ready to turn herself inside out and fall apart. Keep doing this. Look at your life. Isn't it so? Hasn't our entire life turned into this vertical race? Hasn't this dishonesty towards ourselves and the consumerist attitude towards our bodies become the norm of our lives? Hasn't our need for just one injection, just one step, just one action to become a star become our reality? What is the outcome and what is the price of this action? It was shown in the film. And this was shown in the context of the upcoming 2025. Do you know why? Because the year 2025 will become a manifestation of the reality that is embedded in the best version of us. Can you imagine? It will manifest outward as it is, not as we would like to show it. And nothing can be hidden anymore. This, the best version that generates the worst version of itself by improperly exploiting life itself, by having the wrong attitude towards it, by misusing life's resources, not investing in oneself as necessary, not spending time on life as it is.
The only thing you need to remember is that you are one, whole, and you cannot escape from yourself.
The finale is an ugly, multifaceted entity that cannot be perceived by society as such because it is ugly in itself. This is the inner self-expression of a personality that tries to earn love at any cost because it was once underloved somewhere in childhood, and it has not learned to love itself. And the finale, how the New Year's show is a starting point where the filmmakers warn that dear, wonderful people, fellow citizens, viewers, if you do not stop this vertical race, if you do not stop falling for marketing tricks, if you do not stop devaluing your life, your finale will be like this. You will fall apart. No one will love you anyway. Moreover, you will be despised. Everything you did to please that system of values, which is not original, true, or identical to your life, will become the fatal finale of your life. As for the prediction for next year will work exactly like that. Those who live by this principle, those who betray themselves, those who have no self-worth, those who are ready to sacrifice their time, health, and everything that is truly valuable and important for the better version of themselves, are willing to neglect their body as such. In the film, we see that she lies all the time on the bare tiled floor. What essentially means that life has no value at all. Where the resource is, from where Sue draws the resource to manifest in the external world, it holds no value for her. She would like to get rid of it. In the end, she kills life itself. She kills it, and the cover itself falls apart. And the filmmakers warn, friends, the 25th year will be like this for those who do not understand what such a life is. For a reasonable, adequate person, it is unacceptable. And they created this very capacious, grotesque emotional message so that we, my dear ones, would live in a state of outrage and dissatisfaction, so that we would reflect on it. There is no other way to reach the modern person. It is necessary to show how it really is, as for me and the best version of myself, which is younger, more beautiful, and more perfect. Do you think my changes are related to the fact that I wear a cover while living the life of an aging woman who is unhappy and neglects her health for the sake of external beauty? Or is my external transformation an internal transformation that is connected to personal and spiritual growth? After all, this film has truly become very indicative for me in terms of how one can achieve external transformation, but in different ways. How not to tear oneself away from one's identity. And what is the problem of society today and how can it be solved? If you want to become the best version of yourself, if you want to be younger, more beautiful, more perfect, then just one click will unlock your DNA and start the process of cell division that will create another version of you right now. Follow? It's time to wake up, and let's manifest as the best version of ourselves, but in the best traditions of the genre of life, where you do not run away from your life, but return to it, and through this life become the best version of yourself, living it fully and vividly, deliciously, while not sacrificing your life on the altar of your life.